Okay, so new admission into the college, everybody around you seems to be doing cool things, and now you want to do them too. Why? Because it just feels cool. Why not just jump straight into it without knowing the consequences? Well, a lot of you might be making this mistake. I am the one who did that like way earlier, so I guess I am the one who can talk about it, right? I am going to actually tell you what are the things you need to actually know before getting into the college, and what are the things which needs to be approached completely differently. Right now, these are the things which will be based on my learnings, which will be based on my experiences, which I have learned over the years, because now it's been almost like 5 years since I have joined the college, 3 years into the undergrad, and now 2 years into the master. So I guess I can talk about it, right? So the very first thing is, if you're someone who is about to get admission into a college or who is already into the college, people around you might be doing a lot of show off. Why? Just because to come out as somebody real cool, real alpha, right? And trust me, you don't need to do that. If you don't feel like doing that, you don't need to do that. Why? Because if something costs you your peace, if something costs you your authenticity, you don't need to get into that, right? Now remember, if you're doing the exact same things as 20 people out there into the college, you're just one of them, right? You're just one of many rats who are running along. Now everybody knows college already forces you to become a rat. College forces you to make sure that you run with all the other people out there. They don't want you to be someone different. And if you're from a tier 2 or a tier 3 college, specifically from the tier 3 college, trust me, if you're not doing things differently, you're going to be get cooked, right? Second important thing is, make sure to participate in events, right? I was the one who was like insanely introvert. This might not feel real, but trust me, I was the one who was like absolutely introvert. I was the one who avoided crowd all the times. I still participated into the events. I still went onto the stage holding mics when everybody was clearly saw me that my hands were completely shaking when I hold them like this. When I was holding mic like this, it was like completely shivering. I was still doing that, and I ended up winning that whatever title or position it was, right? So if you're someone who thinks, oh, I am absolutely introvert, I can't talk to the people, that's the exact same time when you need to talk to the people. Now the best way to interact with the people, the best way to know a person, is to get into the same activity as he is doing. Now I don't want you to just ride on multiple boats. Why? Because you might end up hurting yourself. But the events which you might feel that this can challenge me, the event which you feel that, okay, if I do that, I might have an upgrade in personality, you should do that without the fear of being an absolute trash at it, right? If there is going to be a crowd of 10,000 people in front of you, and if you're going to hold a mic standing on the stage, you will be scared. I was scared, but that's the whole point of it. You're doing it because you're different from them. If you're not different from them, you might be standing in the crowd along with all the people who is absolutely fearful of standing on that stage. And if you're someone who is holding the mic, who is on the stage, you're already different from all the people out there. They might not get it, but it changes the whole perspective of how you think. Third thing is, if you're someone who is getting into a computer science course, any course which falls under the category of the computer science, get a laptop. Now a lot of people might be around you thinking about, oh, I should get a Mac, I should get a very high end laptop, right? And trust me, if they can, that's absolutely fine. If you can, that's absolutely fine. If you can't afford it, you can't afford it. But that doesn't mean a 40,000 or 45,000 laptop cannot help you do things which they are doing. It's absolutely a myth. You can do the exact same things, if not the exact same things, at least you won't be stopping yourself from doing the things which are actually important, right? If you're someone who just wants to do gaming and all, that's completely fine. You need to get a high-end laptop. But if you're someone who needs to code, because that's the whole purpose of it, whole purpose of getting into the college, if you're serious about that, a Mac will do. And also a budget laptop of 45,000 to 55,000, that too window will do the same thing, right? You won't be stopping yourself, you won't be limiting yourself at any point of time, right? If you can get a Mac, that's absolutely fine. Get a Mac, that's a whole beast of a machine. But if you can't, that's completely fine, right? But get a laptop. Third thing or fourth thing, I forgot the bullet points, but whatever point it is, make sure to explore things your way, right? Now remember, college sets a ceiling over your head. It makes you believe that this is the ceiling you can't break, right? It makes you feel that the ceiling is the whole limit. So until and unless you're here, now you won't be breaking it. This is what college actually teaches you. Your job is actually to break that ceiling. And when you break that ceiling, when you go above that, that's when you realize, oh, there is much more to it. And that's when it just changes the whole dynamics of how you look at yourself, how you approach things, how you do things, to be precise. And that's a very important distinction, right? Now, you might be meeting a lot of people and you might think, oh, this person is completely like me, I need to be friends with him. That's completely fine. But after a while, you realize that no, this person is absolutely trash, I need to cut him off. That's absolutely fine, right? That's how you start reading people. That's how you start understanding that what are the qualities in a person which helps you to bond with them, and also what are the qualities in a person which helps you to repel them, right? That's a very good distinction practice, and it comes when you actually interact with the people. So try to interact with the people. I'm not saying just get into the college, make a circle of 100 people and then just start roaming with them. No, but when you feel like, okay, this person is actually resonating with me, I am actually matching the vibe with him, and after a while you realize that no, I need to cut him off, that's absolutely fine, right? Eventually you'll find one or two people who will stick with you for a longer period of time, and those are the people you need to be close with, right? Someone who can point out directly what you're doing wrong, someone who can point out directly that what are the things you need to do differently, right? So if I summarize this all, there is going to be a lot of show off culture in the college, and if you don't want to do that, don't do that. You don't need to blend in, you need to stand out. That's fine. Second thing is, if you're getting into a computer science degree, get a laptop. Even if it's a budget laptop, it will be absolutely fine. Third thing is, explore things your way. Even if you're learning things, even if you're building things, right? There are communities out there on Twitter, there are communities out there on the Discord. Try to explore them, try to build things your way. Do not be dependent on your college, and definitely not for the placements, right? Like, you need to think it in a way that, okay, I am into the college, if my college gets the placement for me, that's absolutely fine, that's cherry on top. But your main focus should be doing it all by yourself, right? That's how you break the ceiling. And fourth thing is, try to read people, try to read the emotions of the people you're around with, and if they are worth cutting off, cut them off. Not everybody needs to close with you, not everybody needs to have your energy. There are going to be few people who will resonate with you and who will stay with you for a longer period of time, and those are the real people. You should keep them around. Cheers. There are a lot of things to be talked about, but I guess these are absolutely fine points, and you need to enjoy your college without even thinking much. But these are the things which you need to keep in your mind, that okay, I am enjoying my life, but at least I know what my boundaries are, I know what are the things I need to do. And these are exactly the most basic thing people avoid, at least I have seen people avoiding. So until and unless you're doing these things and then you're enjoying your college life, trust me, it's going to be fun. Cheers.